Welcome to Speak for Yourself. Woo! Excuse me. Oh, money. Oh. It's Marcel Swally in the building. Mama, I'm going to be on this TV, mama. And Emmanuel Otto. Okay, you gonna come out the shirt like Shannon Sharp? You gonna rip it? That's the only way you gonna catch up to Shannon today. Shannon ripped his. I ain't ripping this. It's new. New suit. Let's get it started in Green Bay, where Aaron Rodgers has been taking a lot of heat for his explanation last week after he tested positive for COVID-19. Well, Rodgers was back on the mic today and apologized to people he felt were misled when he said he was immunized back in August. He had a lot more to say, saying that he's an athlete and not an activist. So, Acho, what's your reaction to his comments?
My reaction is very, very, very simple. Aaron Rodgers has to understand that a half-truth is a lie. Ooh. And Aaron Rodgers makes a living telling half-truths.
Let's go.
That's what he does. On Friday, Aaron Rodgers comes out and he misquotes the greatest activist, one of the greatest activists of our time, Martin Luther King. Aaron Rodgers says on Friday, the great MLK said, "You have a moral obligation to object to unjust rules that made no sense," close quote. The actual quote from Dr. Martin Luther King: "One has not only a legal, but a moral responsibility to obey just laws. Conversely, one has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws." Aaron Rodgers, don't come out on air on Friday quoting one of the greatest activists of all time, but by Tuesday talking about you want to be an athlete, not an activist. You already made up your mind, big dog. You trying to do both. And as I see it, Marcellus Wiley, I'm even more irritated and agitated by Aaron Rodgers because once again, he's trying to bamboozle us. He's trying to pull the wool over our eyes.
Is he?
Aaron Rodgers, he came out and he said, I made some comments that people felt were misleading. And to anybody who felt misled by those comments, I take full responsibility for that. Hey, Rod, we didn't feel the comments were misleading. They were misleading. Aaron Rodgers said, "I've been immunized." He goes on to say, "Some guys are on this team are not vaccinated, and I don't judge those guys." You are those guys. So don't say I feel misled. I was misled. See, Sel, if somebody doesn't really want to apologize, they'll say this: "I apologize for how you feel." They'll say this: "I apologize for how I made you feel," because that lets them disassociate from their action. That allows them to disassociate for their involvement. And that simply says, okay, I apologize for how you feel. Not for what I did to cause you to feel a certain way, but I'm simply going to apologize for your feelings. But in the actuality of an apology, I don't need you to be sorry for my feelings. I need you to be sorry for causing me to feel how I felt. And Aaron Rodgers, once again, is out here telling these half-truths, not realizing that a half-truth is simply a complex way to say a lie.
Man, Aaron Rodgers needs to just go away in regards to this conversation, in regards to microphones placed in front of him, because it seems like nowhere he steps is going to be the right direction. My reaction to Aaron Rodgers saying he's an athlete, not an activist. Just that line right there, I'm like, good for you, brother. I know that there was a time and place where being an activist was necessary, was mandatory, to put a megaphone to any issue, because a lot of times in our yesteryear, a lot of things got lost. Now, today we've evolved. We're never fully evolved, let's be real. We're never going to reach that finish line. But in this evolution of Aaron Rodgers saying, "I'm an athlete, not an activist," I wish more people will understand what's the root of being an activist. Act. Aaron Rodgers, won't you act accordingly, and you'll need to be an activist. See, a lot of times people put their title before their truth, and then they expect you to just bow down to their title and never want to press them for their truth. Aaron Rodgers is guilty of this. You ever walk into somebody's office and it says president? Immediately they want you to come at them with the expectation that they're the president and you're not. And one thing that I heard a long time ago, this story about Ross Perot, that made me say, golly, man, always put your truth before your title. And you're going to experience this as well. There was a meeting, 8 o'clock meeting, right? Ross Perot's in there, everybody's around there, you know, the president, the vice president, everyone's in the meeting room. And it's 8 o'clock, it's time for it to start. And it's 8:01. And Ross Perot's just sitting there chilling, talking to everybody. And then you can feel the nervous energy. Finally, he says, we can get this meeting started. And he was like, oh, sir, we were waiting for you to take your seat at the head of the table before we started the meeting. He said, wherever I sit is the head of the table. What are y'all doing? Let's start. Why do I bring that up in this regard? Aaron Rodgers, you don't need to go out there as you were this entire offseason professing, I am. Just be, bruh. If you just be Aaron Rodgers, a truth teller, if you just be Aaron Rodgers, a guy who's actually going to act, not only on the football field, because very few have acted better than you on the football field, but off the football field, act like you have some damn sense, then guess what? We don't need you to be an activist. We don't need you to profess that you're something that you're not. It's okay. So in this situation, my only pushback would be Aaron Rodgers. We didn't need to see you try to have elastic language and use this genius that you have to try to be like, oh, I'm smarter than everyone. You try to be smarter than Corona. You try to be smarter than everyone you were talking to. But you got to respect the wisdom of the crowd. And that's why Aaron Rodgers tried to put his title before his truth. He tried to put MVP before telling the truth. He tried to put franchise quarterback before telling the truth. Aaron Rodgers, flip those models, man, because when the helmets go down and the game is behind you, you got to return to this forum with us. And we want to be around somebody who's going to be responsible. We want to be around a truth teller, not someone who's trying to profess just by title.
Still, phenomenal points, and we talked about this yesterday. Your actions speak so loud, I can't hear what you're telling me. Aaron Rodgers, your actions have spoken. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, you are who your actions say you are.
Yes, there we go. Now we talk.
You can't grow an orange from an apple tree. I can't squeeze a lemon and get orange juice because your actions are going to tell me exactly what you are.
Yeah.
So don't sit here and try to tell me with your words. All I got to do is watch your actions.
There you go.
And if I'm watching your actions, Aaron Rodgers, you have tried to be an activist all along. And I'm not going to slight you for that because we've made a stance in society, so many people in society saying athletes shouldn't shut up and dribble. And now you, Aaron Rodgers, are like, no. Y'all caught me. I'm just going to shut up and dribble now. I'm just going to shut up. No. I'm shutting up and I'm dribbling.
Right. No.
Aaron Rodgers, we done fought for you to not have to shut up and dribble. Yeah. T-shirts have been printed saying, don't shut up and dribble.
Right.
And now that you done got caught, now you want to shut up and dribble. And that to me is like, wait a second, Aaron Rodgers, are you trying to go back to being a football player exclusively because you realize you failed at being an activist or you got caught in misaligned activism?
Okay.
From the jump, Sal, August 26, when Aaron Rodgers said that I have been immunized and kind of misled us in regards to that truth, he took a stance that day in regards to activism because his stance that day was, although the NFL would prefer the players be vaccinated, Aaron Rodgers, you don't want to be vaccinated. Right. You want to take this stand. You want to submit your proposal to the National Football League and hope that they would grant your immunization the same freedom they grant vaccination. They did not. Aaron Rodgers, last offseason during the collective bargaining agreement, you wanted to negotiate that players don't have offseason workouts, players don't have voluntary workouts, players just report during training camp. You wanted to be an activist and stand up for what you believe in.
Yeah.
That's fine. But you got to stand up for it. You can't crouch for it. And right now it's as though Aaron Rodgers is crouching for what he believes in because I don't even know if he really believes in it. Ultimately, he just believes he's smarter than everybody else. And now he's got caught in his lack of intelligence, or at least the flaws in his logic.
Man, you gave one of those preacher pauses right there. like the collection plate was still going on. You in your zone. Oh, my God, man. Look, once again, you don't have to be an activist. Just act. We don't need heroes and leaders telling us what to do. Just show me what to do. You know, I was thinking about this morning because I put on today this old-ass Jordan suit I got from when I was playing, so you know it's dusty, right? And I was thinking about, why am I wearing an old Jordan suit? I'm 46. I'm old, but I still could keep it fresh. I mean, duh. But the point is, why am I wearing the dusty? And I was like, my daddy wears dusties all the time. My daddy will wear a jogging suit to church. It doesn't matter. And I started to think, my dad, and your parents give you the best allowance in this world.
What's that?
What is that allowance? It allows you to dare to be great yourself as you're raised by your parents. Why do I bring that up right now? Because too many people out here are trying to lead everybody, but they're not leading by example. They're just trying to lead you because they know you're lost. You ever been with somebody like that? They just know a little more than you, and then they trying to tell you what everything is. I'm like, dog, we can put this thing together and figure it out, but you're only going to take me one step further. And where I need to go is not just one step. I need to get there. And this is what Aaron Rodgers is doing. He looks at a crowd, he looks at a room and decides that, hey, I'm smarter than this room, so let me manipulate this room. And that's what he did. Classic manipulation, classic narcissist. I get all that. But here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers needs to understand that we are looking at what you do more so as a leader than what you're saying. And when he manipulated people, then all of a sudden his irresponsibility caught up with him, and now he wants to take his ball and just go home. Or, as he said, just go to his therapist's couch. Okay, that's fine. Aaron Rodgers, you're smart enough to know you shouldn't have never left the therapist's couch to tell us all that stuff in the first place. But you thought manipulation was going to be your great win in that moment. Here's another point. You said you can't get, lemon from an orange tree? Mm-hmm. I don't know how they got Arnold Palmer's, but somehow somebody went to the wrong tree and grabbed them two together and said, we're going to make something happen. Sometimes it just happens that way, right? I'm stupid. I want to talk about the evolution of where we are as society, because in an information society, in an information world we live in, everybody got receipts, dog. You notice that our ethics and our morality is being influenced more so by the receipts rather than just the intestinal fortitude, rather than just, hey, this is the way I wake up and want to be. It's like, oh, but I don't want to be that. How come Aaron Rodgers didn't make that calculation? How come Aaron Rodgers thought that he was going to be the guy who says something in August and nobody was going to circle back around or nothing was going to get in his way to make him have to finally have retribution to those words? He thought his actions could go right, his words could go left, and we would never try to bridge those two together. I don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, but when you are that great at one thing, why would you undermine it and manipulate it by doing just this right here? This world has been politicized to the point where Aaron Rodgers is now like, I can't even talk. No, you can't talk. Stop lying. We ain't saying you can't talk. Just stop lying. And that's, I saw you, preacher. Now, I hit the organ right here. Let me know.
Let me chime in on one more thing, because Aaron Rodgers went on to say that there's so much hate going on, and hate is not going to bring us out of this pandemic. I'm not going to hate on anybody that has said anything about me. Aaron Rodgers, understand, we don't hate you. At least I don't. No. And from what I've garnered from Marcellus Wiley, you don't. No. You can hate an action and not hate an actor. Mm-hmm. And at this junction in time, Aaron Rodgers just needs to understand, don't try to vilify or victimize yourself. Oh, you are not the victim here, Aaron Rodgers. You are not the person who is saying, well, woe is me. We don't hate you, Aaron Rodgers. You just got caught. We don't hate you, Aaron Rodgers. We just hate your action. Hate will not bring us out of this pandemic. Hate has started several wars, but it has not ended any. So as long as Aaron Rodgers keeps the mindset of, don't nobody hate you, big dog, and don't try to make yourself a victim. You are not the victim. We don't hate you as the actor. We hate you as the action, or we hate your action, rather. So that's my last little thought, big dog, is don't try to go victim card here, Aaron.
Well, you know, he will go victim card, as many people will go victim card. It is very difficult not to go victim card, because everyone wants to stop the avalanche of criticism when it occurs, right? And right now, one of the fads, one of the flavors of the month is just say, oh, stop, look at me. And it's like, no, we're not going to look at you until we look at what you just did to cause this same avalanche, right? Now, Aaron Rodgers, let me speak for Aaron Rodgers. You know me, I'm always a defense attorney, no matter, even if I'm on the prosecuting side. Aaron Rodgers is like, dog, I thought I had freedom of choice. What do they say about freedom? If you think something's free, you must be dumb. That's why they call it free dumb. Freedom comes at a cost as well. To have all of this opportunity, Aaron Rodgers says, I want to choose without consequence that I don't want to be vaccinated. And then he said he took a look around the league and said, oh, them unvaccinated players, them Cole Beasleys out there, they taking heat. I don't want that, but I want to do what he did. Then obviously he doesn't look at the vaccinated players because he's like, oh, they just going as the sheep would go, right? So Aaron Rodgers says, let me create another lane. Let me not be Cole Beasley in face and title and in submission, but let me be him in action. But my words are going to act like I'm one of those other guys, the sheep. Man, what the hell is wrong with this dude to think that that was going to work? He thought that he was going to do something and it wasn't going to have consequence. Whether you are Cole Beasley, and Cole Beasley, to my knowledge, has raised his hand and said, I take the consequences that come with being unvaccinated. Aaron Rodgers didn't want to be vaccinated, so he didn't want those and those consequences. He wanted his own world. Aaron Rodgers is a narcissist, man. He just really think he could create this world and make it spin the way he wants it to spin. I'm just here to tell you, you're going to come crashing back down, bro.
Real quick, Sal, if we can pause for a second. And can we talk about the fact that Aaron Rodgers did not get canceled?
Oh, that stuff, man. That stuff don't exist.
I'm so tired of hearing Aaron Rodgers is the next latest victim of cancel culture. He's still employed. He's still cashing checks for games he ain't playing.
Yeah,
he still has the majority of his endorsements with endorsers backing him.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers did not get canceled. Aaron Rodgers is being held accountable. And we have grown so averse to responsibility in society that we had to create an entirely new term of cancel culture when, in fact, all that is truly occurring is accountability. How have we, Sel, grown so averse to taking responsibility that when the one time we now are held accountable, it's like, oh, no, I'm being canceled. You're being canceled.
Yeah.
You're being held responsible to ignorant or negligent or an action that is to someone else's detriment.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of, oh, cancel culture, woe is me. Nah, big dog. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
I blame social media. Now, I could sound like the old fart that says that, but you know what? There's some truth to that statement. Let me tell you why. 2 layers, and then we got to get out of here. Because damn it, Aaron Rodgers, we got some real football to talk about, not your lying ass. Here's the thing. I always believe this, and somebody tweet me if I'm wrong. I believe everyone wins in this world. Okay, what does that really mean? If you give something your time, you give it your energy, you give it your attention, oh, you're going to win at that. But the question beyond that is, are you playing a winning game? I grew up with people who gave the wrong things attention. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. And they became winners in that same lane that they gave attention to. You want to be popular? All right, you know how to do that. You want to be the one, the class, you know how to do that. You want to be the fresh one? You know how to do that. You want to be the hard one? You know how to do that. And they became winners. Then they got to the end of the game and realized, damn, this is short-lived. Damn, this is not a winning game. I bring that up because social media is interesting. Like in school, the back of the class is the loudest, right? The back of the class is acting the donkey, right? Everybody in the back of the class is back there in part because they're like, yo, I want to be furthest away from accountability, right? So I want to sit back here. And we sharing notes, we clowning, we cheating, we doing what we do. You joking on me, all that. My old sweatsuit, I get it, from the back of the class. But with social media, you know what's interesting and what we don't understand fully? In school, there were certain classes that were worse than others. Electives, oh, God. Back of the class elective, that dude dumb. I don't give a damn. Whoever in the back of the class of like an elective, oh, he ain't gonna make it. Anyway, we used to be in one class, it's like this. Another class, it's like this. Social media is now the back of the class of every single classroom in the entire school, in the entire district, in the entire oh, God, keep going, state, nation, country, world. And they all sharing notes. Let me tell you why. When you look at this, you said, why are we so far away from accountability? Because now there's a forum, there's a platform where everyone could share notes from the back of the class. You know that more people are not on social media than are on social media? Do you also know, if you really want to get into it, that most social media has its most popularity in negative situations, right? You want to talk about hatred, you want to talk about violence, you want to talk about sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever. That's what gets you the popularity on social media the most. Aaron Rodgers knows this. Aaron Rodgers realizes that in the social media world, that all of this backlash that he's talking about, he's really talking to the back of the class. Aaron Rodgers, once again, is manipulating. Aaron Rodgers knows he sits at the front of the class. Not always the smartest because he's a manipulator. But he's trying to now play to the lower tendencies and frequencies of the back of the class. like you said, don't let this dude off the hook for this one. If he goes out there and balls out, fine. If he goes out there and says some things that we don't agree with, fine. But when you sitting there lying, trying to manipulate us, like we sitting in the back of the class, oh, bro, you got the wrong student. Coming up, we need some order for the top teams in the league. Damn, deep. Our NFL power rankings will be revealed later. But first, Mike McCarthy is taking a lot of heat for the Cowboys' loss on Sunday. But tell you if he's the one to blame next on Speak for Yourself.
Cowboys' 6-game winning streak, it is over after the Broncos took care of business in Dallas on Sunday. Now, a lot of the blame is being pointed towards head coach Mike McCarthy. And I'm the one doing the pointing. Tuesday, their Dallas Morning News wrote an article. Mike McCarthy did not have his club ready to play, adding, quote, the Cowboys were sleepwalking from the start.
Oh, that's what they doing?
They're out there sleepwalking.
Herman Munster.
So, Marcellus, what? Do you blame Mike McCarthy for the Cowboys' blowout loss to the Broncos?
No, I don't blame Mike McCarthy. He wouldn't be first, he wouldn't be second, he'd be 54th after I blamed the 53 players that put on the uniform, that crossed the white line, even if they ain't playing. They are part of the collective team. How dare you? Look, he deserves some because, hey, he's supposed to get the troops ready for battle, right? And you're the head coach. And last time I checked before this week, he got them ready for battle every single week. The only team that had no bad performances were the Dallas Cowboys. And they finally did. You know what I just said to you, basically?
What?
That he just did what every other coach did this year. Either once or more times, didn't have your guys ready to ball. You don't believe me? Let's bring out some receipts. Mike McCarthy, all of a sudden there's an article. Oh, he didn't have his troops ready. He's a failure at coaching this week. Did they do that? And did we do this on this show when, I don't know, Matt LaFleur didn't have his troops ready in week one? Huh? I remember week one. Do you? Yeah, 38-3. And they weren't ready for that game. Did we do that to... Is Matt LaFleur to blame for the... Did we do it week two when we saw all of a sudden Sean Payton and the Saints? I thought y'all were... Oh, y'all not? Is this... Did we do it to any other coach? Are we doing this right now to the genius Sean McVay? When are we going to do it to Kyle Shanahan? Because you know I'm ready for that one, because that was a long time waiting. But the point is, all of a sudden, once again, you're putting that big D on it. Throw some D's on that thing, because the Dallas Morning News, and I can tell by your eyes, your lying eyes, that you want to put this all on someone who didn't have a play, who didn't have a pass, who didn't have a tackle, who didn't have a rush. You want to put this on the coach. Look, they just came out flat. They lost their rhythm. All of a sudden, Zeke gets tweaked, and then they lose a game. It happened to every single team out there. Only the Arizona Cardinals maybe could raise their hand and say, hey, we haven't had a really bad performance even though we had a loss. But then I would say, hey, Arizona, when you're playing a team with 11 guys out injured, maybe if you're undefeated, you should beat that team. So no one goes unscathed. But I'm ready to hear you with your lying eyes to come out here and try to blame this on Mike McCarthy.
So let me remind you and tell you all one of the greatest football quotes of all time.
Give it to me.
You're either coaching it,
this is a great
or
one.
you're letting it happen. You are either coaching it or you are allowing it to happen. The Dallas Cowboys came out and went 0-4 on fourth downs. The Dallas Cowboys came out and went 5 of 13 on third downs. The Dallas Cowboys came out and their run defense got obliterated. Holes all up in it like some Swiss cheese. You are either coaching it or you are allowing it to happen. And Mike McCarthy allowed it to happen.
Oh.
What is it? When Marcellus Wiley, my big dog up here, my big bro up here, the man who doesn't know how to show up to a movie on time, Marcellus Wiley told me his take. He just said, they came out flat.
They did.
I love that pronoun. It wasn't Dak came out flat. It wasn't Zeke came out flat. It wasn't CeeDee Lamb came out flat. It wasn't Micah Parsons came out flat. He didn't subscribe the flatness to an individual. Marcellus Wiley subscribed the flatness to a team. Who dictates the entirety of the team? Mike McCarthy. Marcellus Wiley also said they were not in rhythm. You have to listen to an individual's pronouns. They will tell you a lot about what they are trying to tell you. He said they were not in rhythm. So who is they? It wasn't Dak. He didn't say Dak wasn't in rhythm. He didn't say Zeke wasn't in rhythm. He didn't say CD wasn't in rhythm. He said they were not in rhythm. Who dictates the rhythm of the they? So one of my greatest, not only friends, not only leaders, advisors, but one of the greatest artists to me is Kirk Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
Kirk Franklin, gospel recording artist.
Sing it now, God's children.
Do you want a revolution? But all Kirk Franklin is a glorified choir director.
Oh,
he truly is. Kirk is only ever sang in about 2 to 3 songs. He's a glorified choir director.
Great point.
He just makes sure everybody sings in harmony, in unison, in rhythm. And if they are not singing in harmony or in rhythm, then it is on Kirk as the director. So it is on Mike McCarthy as the coach. See, the Cowboys didn't have a bad performance because of Dak. They had a bad performance because of the team. When the Packers lost to the Saints week 1, that was on Aaron Rodgers. The defense did their end, held up their end of the bargain. Rodgers had a terrible game. When Jameis Winston and Sean Payton had an embarrassing loss, Jameis Winston, he went out there and relapsed. But these Cowboys, collectively, they played bad. If y'all listen to the pronouns, you'll find out who's guilty, and it is him. It is he. It is Mike McCarthy.
Oh, wow. Strong, boy. Here we go again. Not much room to breathe. I feel like I'm in Die Hard. I gotta live. Okay, let me give you this example. Boy, you ready? Say this, they tripping.
They tripping.
Okay, when you say they tripping, you're looking at a group. Are all of them tripping? You be like, they tripping. You don't mean all of them. You just mean some of them, most of them, a couple of them, a few of them, not all of them. That defense wasn't tripping. That defense wasn't tripping when they had 5 straight possessions of keeping Denver out of it. That defense wasn't tripping when they only allowed 5.58 yards per play, lower than their season average of 6 yards a play. That defense wasn't tripping. That offense was tripping. They were tripping. Sorry, I didn't specify. This world is not binary. I know you want to go there and you want to say, hey, it's on Mike McCarthy or it's on the team. But it's nuanced. It's on a little Mike McCarthy, but we're not going to make it headline news, Dallas Morning News. We shouldn't do that. We're not doing that when a team comes out flat because it's on the team. The onus, responsibility ultimately is on the team itself. You've been there before. Let's talk about the energy levels and the enforcers of the energy. When you're on the team, everybody's feeling something different. It's kind of like a graphic equalizer, right? 53 knobs, some are up, some are down. So funny. Some of the knobs that are way up, that dude ain't even playing, but his job is to get us up there with him as well, right? Some guys who are down, let's say Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper strikes me as a teammate I'm not going to rah-rah with too much, right? He going to do his thing. So I don't know if Amari Cooper on kickoff is ready or not because he always the same, right? So you got to understand this if you're Mike McCarthy. Everyone doesn't need you barking at them. Some of them come out like this and then they ball like that. But when it doesn't happen, all of a sudden you got to rely on those who are already up there. He relied on the defense. He said, Dak, I know you're coming off injury. I don't want to push you because the conversation is if I push Dak, what's going to happen to Dak? He potentially can re-injure himself. Not just pushing him mentally, but physically. Hey, Dak, put all of this game on your shoulders. So then Mike McCarthy sits back, as anyone would. Oh, it's going to come next drive. Oh, it's going to come next drive. And what starts to happen is you realize, oh, it's not coming today. Now, every single team in NFL history, -2, has come to that realization. Only 2 teams have went the entire regular season without a blemish. But now, because it's the Dallas Cowboys with the star in the helmet, all of a sudden the sky is falling and it's all falling on their coach. I played the game. You played the game. I can't blame coach. I can't say coach tripping. I can't say coach didn't get me right. It's on me to get right. Half of this unit was right. That defense played well enough to win the game early enough if the offense had showed up. But then, like anybody, you get defeated and you realize we'll see them again later down the line. Well, not Denver, because they ain't going to work. But the point is, we'll see another week. We'll live for another day.
Let's talk the sport you and I love the most. Time, America.
Track.
For track and field.
On your mark.
And if y'all don't know about track, y'all need to watch this show more intently because we be trying to teach y'all the thing or two, man. In track, it behooves you to get a good start. Particularly if you're running against somebody who's not a great starter, that means they don't come out the blocks very fast, but they have great top-end speed. Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt was not at all a great starter, but you knew he was going to catch you. However,
Yeah.
If you got a good enough start, not necessarily against Usain Bolt, but against somebody else, man, you'll throw them off their race. In track and field, it's just a matter of run your own race. Don't worry about anybody in any other lane. Run your own race. But that's all a facade, y'all. If somebody gets too far ahead, you start to freak out. You start to get distracted by your own race, and you start just trying to do whatever you can do.
Try to get there. Get them.
The Dallas Cowboys are phenomenal starters. And when they get out the blocks, other teams start to freak out. Other teams start to forget how to run their own race.
Hey.
Other teams start to forget, no, our recipe for winning is running the football and a little this, a little that. Because when the Cowboys get out, you start looking at the Cowboys and your arms start to go here, your head start to go here.
Strong.
You forget how to run your race. Here's the problem. Mike McCarthy, he stops the Cowboys from doing what they do best, which is getting out, getting an early lead. Let me talk to you, sir. You won't even look like me like that after I talk to you.
You know I'm mad.
Against the New England Patriots, the Cowboys should blow them out. Cowboys were good. Cowboys are good. First fourth down of the game, Mike McCarthy. You go for it on fourth down. You don't get it. Now the Patriots have the ball in Cowboys territory. Patriots score a few plays later. Now the Patriots are up.
Yeah.
I just got ahead against a really good starter. Oh, I can run my own race. Patriots almost won that game. Against the Denver Broncos, Cowboys go for it. First fourth down of the game, they don't get it. Second fourth down of the game, they go for it again. They don't get it. Now the Broncos take the lead once again. Now the Broncos, the entirety of the game, can run their own race, hand the ball off 20-plus times a game, rushed for 190 yards. Whereas Mike McCarthy, if you would have just run the best race you can, which is just take an early lead, 3-0, 6-0, 7-0. Now the Broncos going to freak out because you've gotten ahead, and they will abandon what they do best. Mike McCarthy, Sel, in my mind, he stopped the Cowboys from putting the game away early. All you got to do is get an early lead if you're the Cowboys. Teams will freak out like those opponents do on the track, and the arms will move from 90, and they're going to start going every which way, and the game will be over. So I really blame Mike McCarthy for not ending the game before it even started. And all he got to do is put them little sorry teams away. To the Cowboys, Broncos are sorry. To the Cowboys, Patriots are sorry. Put them little sorry teams away. Get out the blocks and this game over. It's race over.
Yeah, but that's too much on Coach, man. Look, I know Coach is a part of the team, so obviously he gets a share of the blame, but he doesn't get the lion's share of the blame. He's a means to an end, just like a lot of the players that are not Dak Prescott, that are not Ezekiel Elliott, that are not Michael Parsons, that are not Trayvon Diggs, et cetera. Like, those are the guys that we got to say, okay, if we're going to single people out, it's those who have the most influence. Be real about that. And be real about the NFL, because I think sometimes we get up here with our power rankings. We act like number 1 and number 32. It's this huge divide. Like there's an ocean between those two teams when it's not. Did Jacksonville just go out there and beat the Buffalo Bills, who are a top 5 power ranking team? Absolutely, yes, they did. Everyone in the NFL is a black belt. Every single player. Yes, him too. The sorriest dude, the last man on the roster on the worst team is still a black belt. Just what degree black belt? Why do I bring that up? You watched UFC. Matter of fact, you went to UFC in New York.
Talk to me, yes, sir.
Talk to me. Where'd you go?
I had to watch my dog Kamaru Usman Naija. No, they carry last. I had to watch my Nigerian brother go out there and handle business real quick, and he did.
Real quick, huh? You should have stayed at home. I know that flight was way longer than all of that match and all that, but it was good to be in person. UFC teaches me something. It says no matter who you are and what size you are, you ever walk down the street and see some dude with them ears, them cauliflowers? You ain't messing with him. You know why? Because no matter what, if he gets you where he wants to get you, oh, he got you, right? It's a wrap. Same thing for the Denver Broncos. Same thing for the Jacksonville Jaguars. If they get any team where they want you, oh, it's a wrap. MJ and I, we spar a lot. It ain't real sparring to me. I'm just tapping them, love taps. He hit me. Can't lie to you, dog. 1-2% of those actually catch a boy. I'm like, little man, chill, right? Brings me back to my NFL days. If you catch somebody where you want to catch them, no matter who you are in the NFL, you got them. You just told me my last point. No, turn your chair back here. We ain't going. We talking track and field. You slow. I can tell you were slow. You know what? I ain't even had to know your I'm going to look them up now. Your combine time, all that. You were slow. I can tell you.
Why was slow,
Because you talk all the way from the perspective of racing Usain Bolt. I was fast. I was Usain Bolt. Oh, you don't think so? Here's my receipts right here. I'm going to show you my medals. I'm going to tweet them out, too. I just saw them 2 days ago. I'm not lying. This is insane. First place, Mount Sac. You heard of Mount Sac?
Of course. I went there this past week.
Okay.
Past year.
Yeah. First place, Junior Olympics. First place, Nationals. First place, Internationals, Eugene, Oregon, track city class. You heard it? Okay, point being, I used to be Usain Bolt when I was 11. Anyway, why I bring that up? Because when you're talking about going against the Cowboys, you never think from the Cowboys' perspective. They are the Usain Bolts. Nobody's more talented than this team, right? So they're not going to freak out if they don't score fast. They're not going to freak out. They're going to run their race just like Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt ran 99% of his races from the back, knowing that I'm going to catch y'all, right? Dak, because he didn't play the week before, was out of rhythm, couldn't find his rhythm. Usain Bolt also lost. Sometimes Usain Bolt would take a L, but not when it mattered most. And these Dallas Cowboys 2021, they're not going to lose when it matters most. The Bears lost last night, but Justin Fields still had highlight moments. Damn, Macho, how slow were you, though? We'll tell you if he's proven he's a franchise quarterback next on Speak for Yourself. Boy, one mouth sack, baby. Justin Fields led the Bears on a late go-ahead drive last night, but his Bears left the Steelers with too much time on the clock, and Uncle Big Ben, his squad, went on to get the win. Fields still had a nice primetime starting debut, finishing with over 300 total yards and a touchdown pass. You hear that, Baker Mayfield? So, Acho, has Justin Fields proven he's a franchise quarterback?
He's proven that he has flashes of franchise, but he has not proven that he is a franchise quarterback. I was watching that game last night. Justin Fields was balling. Escaping the pocket is necessary. In the second half, he had 7 passes, 7 completions of 15 yards or more, most for a Bears quarterback in the last 15 years. Damn. Justin Fields showed us so many flashes of brilliance. And I applaud that young man for doing so. I'm a huge fan of Justin Fields. Have met him several times.
Nice.
But I can't come now and take a standstill after seeing a great half of football saying that he's a franchise quarterback. I know this much, though. He got the potential to be.
Okay.
I know this much, though. He has the talent to be, which is a lot more than I can say for other quarterbacks. But I can't come out and with all of my truth and all of my chest say he's a franchise quarterback. And here's why.
Okay.
Justin Fields is still 32nd in the National Football League in passer rating. He's still 31st in the National Football League in completion percentage. He's still 32nd in the National Football League in touchdown-interception ratio. There are 32 teams in the National Football League. So as great as that half of football was, when I look at Justin Fields' body of work, and mind you, to some degree, these statistics are skewed because he's only played 7 games, only been a starter in 7 games, it still doesn't scream franchise. If we were to make Justin Fields nameless and make Justin Fields faceless, and I were to simply show you all that passer rating, that completion percentage, and that interception percentage, you wouldn't say that's a franchise quarterback.
Hell no.
But you would say, if you were to watch his tape, I see some flashes of franchise. I see some flashes of brilliance. To say Justin Fields is a franchise quarterback at this junction in time would be to hand out a participation trophy.
Ooh, what's wrong with that?
It would be it would be to say, oh, well, Justin Fields, you are so great for a rookie. And if I were to classify Justin Fields as a rookie 7 games or 7 starts into his career, I'd be like, okay, I'm content. But you got to compare Justin Fields to the entire NFL. Justin Fields wasn't going up against the JV Steelers yesterday. He was going up against the Steelers. That's the way the NFL works. So I was incredibly pleased with Justin Fields' performance, particularly in the second half. I was incredibly pleased with so many throws that I saw Justin Fields make. But I would be lying to you all, and I would be lying to myself if I were to come out and say that he's proven with this whole body of work that he's a franchise quarterback.
Do you believe what you just said? For real. Tell the truth. All right. Cut. Coming up. You believe that?
Yeah, he ain't a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, he is. And you know I was slow to this one because let's look at it the way that you have to look at it. Okay, there's 2 things, and you mentioned one. We're going to judge you based on either your production or your potential.
Yes, sir.
So now let's stay in the vacuum of just potential. Dog, that skill set, that talent level, that level of athleticism, his best throw yesterday was an incomplete, nondescript, right over the middle to the tight end that went way over his head. But boy, did that ball move. And I remember looking like, with his mobility, with the team that he's on right now, with how dysfunctional at times the Chicago Bears have been and are right now, woo, this dude is special. Take yourself back, Acho. I think right now the suit is too nice. AC is on when it's on. Point being, we get a little distant from the game. Let's go back to the stands. Not even the bleachers, the stands. When, you know, mama used to hit on the wood. Shake, shake, go, baby, go. And you sit there and you're like, hey, Marcellus, who number 1? That's how you look at Justin Fields as a rookie already. Who's number one? Justin Fields has now had a passing touchdown in 4 of his last 5 games. Now, that doesn't sound remarkable. It does sound good. But you know what's crazy? There are other franchise quarterbacks that haven't had 4 of their last 5 games with a passing touchdowns. You want to know one? Baker Mayfield. Come on, man. This dude is a rookie coming out the gate and getting better in the second half than he does in the first half. Do you know in the last couple weeks, he is 6th in total rushing and passing yards per game? Justin Fields, who first start, we were like, oh my God, disgusting. But it's not based on production only. It's based on potential. I was slow to this one. But now, dog, I am a believer. You put him in this same team, on the same team with a better offensive line, it's a wrap. This dude is going to take off, and already he is showing the signs of improvement that lets me know with his skill set, oh, he's definitely a franchise quarterback.
So one of my favorite singers is John Legend. You know this. I always come in this joint.
You know that's my dog,
Legend.
right?
Great.
Okay,
then you should know the story.
Ivy League.
John Legend first got his major start opening up for Kanye.
We heard that on Drink Champs. Hello.
No doubt about it. John Legend started off opening up for Kanye early 2000s, 01, 02, 03, etc. Now, he would kill some of those hooks that he was singing for Kanye on tour.
Give me one.
Or when he was opening up to test.
Yeah, he didn't kill him. You don't even know one. You got caught.
No, it's from what I've researched. I'm born in 90, big dog. My parents wouldn't let me go to John Legend and Kanye concert. Hey, my own parents.
You go? No,
go. You mad. No, so that wasn't going down, but I know this much.
Give me one.
When he was just opening up for Kanye, yeah, he might smash on an opener real quick, but that don't make him a A-list singer. He showed us that he had flashes to do something dominant. He showed us he had flashes to make Grammy-winning albums. He showed us he had flashes to become one of the greatest singers of all time. But when he was doing a feature here, a feature there, singing on a hook here, singing on a hook there, opening up on a tour here, opening up on a tour there, we weren't yet convinced that John Legend was really going to be a dude. We just knew he had the potential to be a dude. And I would make that correlation right now between Justin Fields. Justin Fields has shown us he has the potential to be a dude. He shows us a flash here in the Niners game, a flash here in the Steelers game, a flash here for a half of football, a flash here for a game-winning potential drive. But just because we saw a flash doesn't mean we know he's going to give us a Grammy-winning album, a Pro Bowl type of season, an all-pro caliber career. We just know he got the ability to do it. Now I got to see him do it. So that's where I am with Justin Fields. I know he got the ability to do it, but I can't come out and say that he is a franchise quarterback after seeing 7 good throws and 1 good half. And I love Justin Fields. I just can't let my love blind me.
Man, it's one thing to be late to the party. I'm guilty. It's another thing to miss the party entirely.
What party I missed?
You're going to miss this Justin Fields party. It's going down right now before your eyes. You better show up. John Legend, my dog. You know, our kids, we'll talk off mic. You know what's interesting about John Legend? Because you brought up his career, Ivy Leaguer as well. You bring up John Legend, and people saw him bubbling, right? Obviously, Kanye signs him. But didn't he get a huge ringing endorsement from somebody that you would know as well? Oprah Winfrey. Remember when she took him under her wing and said, oh, my God, this John Legend guy is amazing. And you know when Oprah says that, look at the receipts. Look at the results. Y'all blow up. Oprah, I'm here too. Damn it, just say I'm all right. Just say I'm all right. I'll take some of that love. Point being, John Legend got that endorsement. Now, I'm watching guys out there, Brock Heward, who is an amazing mind in terms of the quarterback position. I'm watching guys out there on television, left and right, saying, oh, he got it. Justin Fields is something special. To me, that's the Oprah endorsement. It's the ringing endorsement of a guy who played the position before, knows what it looks like, knows what it doesn't look like. I'm seeing it with my own eyeballs. First half, okay, he's getting his feel. Second half, he's just letting them skills take off. It's crazy, dog. This dude is special. And we knew he was special, but we didn't know how it was going to take traction because he went to the Chicago Bears, where Mitch Trubisky, who had his moments, still finds himself as a backup elsewhere. I'm looking at it as simple as this. In today's NFL, you got to be a 2.0 quarterback, correct? That means no more are we going to look at your ability to be mobile as a disability. It used to be looked at as, nah, stay in the pocket. He can stay in the pocket. He's learning week in, week out. But more importantly, you can't take away the fact that he got the skill set to evade the rushers. You add all that up, to me, man, the guy just looks special. And finally, you see a team like the Bears going toe-to-toe with Pittsburgh. Quietly, the same Pittsburgh Steelers that have a winning record. Quietly, a team that's going to make some noise potentially at AFC. Hey, Justin Fields, keep going, man. I'm finally here at the party. I'm texting Nacho. He'll show up. Coming up, it's time for our NFL Power Rankings. Find out if the Rams, the Bucks, the Ravens made our list. That's next on Speak for Yourself. Oh, he's sending me the voicemail like I did on this movie. Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Week 9 is in the books. Well, let's take a second right now and just admire my suit. Damn.
You're blending in with the ground, actually.
They had to mess my whole game up. I ain't talking to you right now. Week 9's in the book, so it's time for us to reveal our top 5 NFL power rankings. I really hate you. Acho, let's get started with your number 5.
So a lot of movement this week on the power rankings. I cannot wait.
Why?
But
because everybody lost.
At my number 5, how about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? Let's see it. Oh, this is pretty. Okay. Now, all right. Let me get countered at number 5 and let's discuss this with the real team. And I know they mad at me on Twitter right now. I'm back in the class sharing notes. The Tennessee Titans. Let's see it. Let's see it. All right, Ryan Tannehill. Now, that's the team that should be at number 5. The Cowboys, who were number 1 before their loss. But let's be real about that loss. You can explain away that loss. Dak Prescott missing a week before. But now you keep them, I would say, still higher than that. Maybe a top 3, top 2 consideration for you.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Let's be real.
The Cowboys are lucky to even be in this top 5 spot.
Okay.
You were down 30-0 with 5 minutes left at home to the Denver Broncos. Embarrassing. There's been a lot of losses this year. That was one of the most embarrassing games I've ever seen. Cowboys need to just be lucky to be in my 5 spot.
You know what's so funny? I was trying to press you. They ain't in my top 5. All right, let's hear your number. All right, so who you got at number 4?
My number 4, the Rams, man. This broke my heart.
Still hold on to them dudes.
Because the Rams, y'all know this. Y'all know the Rams are like my number 1 team.
We know this.
I was in SoFi. I watched them get smacked by the Titans. But in the Rams' defense, they got 2 losses this year. To the best team in the NFC and to the best team in the AFC.
You're a bad luck charm. Because you went to that Charger game too and they lost 2 as well. Don't come to SoFi no more. Hey, let's put the real number 4 up here right now. You know what it is, my boy. The Baltimore Ravens creeping back up in there. They weren't as high. Hey, look at the Baltimore Ravens right now. Won 6 of their last 7 games. Look at that man right there. 4 comeback wins this year. Remember when Lamar, the running back, the guy who couldn't come from behind, the guy who couldn't win a playoff game? Lamar Jackson's just like, check. Unanimous MVP is rolling right now. They are number 4.
I'm not mad at it. Let me get to my 3. Now I got the Titans.
Okay.
Now I got the Titans. I got the Titans.
Remember the Titans, huh?
The Titans have just dismantled the Rams in L.A. Did that thing. The Titans beat the Bills, one of the top AFC teams.
Okay.
The Titans have beat the Chiefs, last year's top AFC team. When I look at the Titans, what haven't they been able to do? Sal, who you got?
Oh, man, close your eyes right now. If the Titans were to play my number 3, who would win? The real number 3. Let's go. The Green Bay Packers. Oh, Aaron.
Is he there?
6 feet. Chill. Hey, bro, you won't be wearing your mask like that. All right, here we go. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Let's not slight this team because of the close loss to Kansas City. You know, if he were on the field, they would have spanked Kansas City right now. So I got Aaron Rodgers and the Packers truly at number 3.
You know what happened to Sha'Carri? She got disqualified.
She did.
The Packers are DQ'd from my top 5. Y'all not even going to see
really?
They're not even going to be in my list.
Really?
DQ'd.
He's back this week. He's back this week.
Can we get to 2?
Let's get your deuce.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like them at 2. I like them at 2. Who you got at 2, big dog?
Oh, man. I'm trying to be like you. All right, go ahead. Starting to get lazy. All right. Look, it's the top of the show. We got Tom. All right, Tom. See, Tom don't step in it. That's the difference between him and Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady just got his boys right back where he wants them, in a position to hoist another Lombardi trophy.
I think the one thing everybody has to be able to agree on is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even if they take a loss, you know, as long as Tom Brady is still there, that they will be able to avenge that loss. You convinced me last year. They lost to the Saints week 1, got blown out by the Saints again, I believe, week 7, 38-3, and still ended up winning the Super Bowl. So
yes.
Of all the inconsistencies in the world of football this season,
Eddie.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the most consistent. I respect us both having them at number 2.
All right, now let's get to that ace. Let's get to the ace. Huh? This ain't hard.
Okay.
People ain't that dumb.
Okay. Arizona Cardinals. Name on one. Who you?
Hey, yo, let me look at my cards. Let me see the way carry the 2 to 1. Okay, Arizona 2. Damn it. Arizona, dog. I mean, even the Green Bay game, you could say that was one play away from winning that game. That's a perfect season for this team right now. You look at them, the way that they went into San Francisco and handled the 49ers, when the 49ers must-win game for them in terms of morale and also just in the standings. Like, San Francisco needed that game. Arizona, minus all of their star players, still went out there and gave them the business. I got them number 1.
Here's what's interesting, Sal. I feel like we denied the talent of the Cardinals because really from our football eyes, we didn't see it.
Oh, watch your pronouns. That we is going to turn into me, and that's you.
You denying him?
Cliff
Watch the line. Why don't cross this line? Don't you cross this white line.
Cliff Kingsbury, did you like him before this year?
No,
Yes.
I still don't.
What?
Twisted.
What?
I still don't like Cliff. However, when I look at the fact that the Cardinals have only lost one game and it was because A.J. Green ran a wrong route, if he was running a route at all, that's really why I'm giving it to him. To me, they don't impress me with the eye test as much as the Bucs do. They don't impress me with the eye test as much as the Packers with Aaron Rodgers and fully loaded do. But eventually, you can't deny the fact that they only got one loss. They have beat the Titans, dismantled the Titans. They didn't just beat, they embarrassed them. They embarrassed the Rams. Cardinals have really done it all.
I'm having this argument on Twitter, but I'm not punching back. But basically, you can be playing the best, but not be the best, right? Be real about that.
Okay,
that's my Tennessee. I think they're playing the best right now. But do I really think the Tennessee Titans are the best team right now? No.
That's an intellectual dialogue let's have for a second.
Let's go.
If you are playing the best, then aren't you the best? Because aren't you what you do? I don't think it's a matter of you aren't like what you have potential to do. You aren't what you say you are.
No.
You are who you are.
No, because we know the ebbs and flows of a season. That's why you gave so much props to Tom Brady and the Bucs. You said they're just right where they need to be. How many times you seen the guy just sitting there drafting in second place, third place, wherever he needs to be, but he's the guy just waiting to strike. Tampa Bay looks like a team I could strike. I trust even Green Bay getting over the hump in the NFC Championship game. But teams like the Ravens, close. We got to make sure they get healthy at the right time, but not the Titans.
Lastly, you don't have the Cowboys.
I don't have the Cowboys.
Where are they?
Where are they?
6, 7, and why don't you have the Cowboys?
This is medicine for the Cowboys. This is kind of my love for the Cowboys. You know, I'm going to give you something that you don't want, but you need. You need to get outside my top 5 power rankings because I need to humble them. They just got a little too ahead of themselves in terms of all this Super Bowl conversation. How would Dallas look in February if they win the championship? How does Dallas look right now in November losing to Denver is the conversation. So pump the brakes a little bit if you're the Cowboys. That'll do it for our Week 9 Power Rankings.
Good enough.
Boy, they spinning. Tune in next week to see who makes the list. My list. This list. Tweet us. Let us know which list you like more. Coming up.
There it is.
Oh, that's your best one ever. Ooh, that boy hot. Coming up, is everything back right on track for Kansas City and Mahomes? We'll tell you if we're encouraged by the Chiefs. That's next on Big Baby Chill. What's up, Healy? What it do?
With the Young Heels. Big East College basketball is back, baby. Coming up next, check out 4th-ranked Villanova take on Mount St. Mary's. Then, for the first time ever, we bring you 7 live opening season games from the studio. Get ready to watch hoops like never, ever before as we bounce around from game to game. Catch it live next, FS1. Now let's bring you a rewarding performance brought to you by Capital One. Spark, cash, plus card. Speaking of rewarding performances, got to head to Kansas City because Patrick Mahomes, he rewarded the Chiefs with another dub. Don't sleep on the Chiefs. They won 2 straight and are now 5-4. But the offense has not been lighting it up. In the last 2 wins, Mahomes only has 2 touchdown passes, and KC has scored a combined 33 points. Sell.
Yes, sir.
I know how I feel.
Oh, okay.
But are you encouraged by Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs as of late?
No, I'm not encouraged. Despite them pulling out a couple wins that they really needed.
True.
Even though those were bad performances, still got the W. I'm not encouraged, man. Let's just be real about this team. Let's talk about why. If you look at Patrick Mahomes, man, I think he got bored with success. And this happens, they say, to the gifted. And very few things that we see in this world where you actually see someone who's gifted at it really hold that responsibly. Most times you look at it and you're like, oh, they had it, and they made, oh, damn. And you can watch their incline and decline right before your eyes, right? Their progress, and then you see them regress. Mike Tyson comes to mind for me, like for, what? Who's more gifted at boxing than Mike Tyson? Built for the sport, get under you, still can connect with you, mindset, tenacity, everything. But we watched him go up. We also watched him come down. I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes, not saying he's coming down, but he certainly has plateaued because it looked like he got bored with success. How did he get bored with success? It's simple. He just does too much. I've been watching analyst after analyst, expert after expert start talking about how he is in the pocket, looking erratic, rapid eye movement, just looking all over the place, undisciplined, especially in the lower extremities, in terms of his footwork, in terms of his body placement, everything. It's just looking all out of sorts. And I was like, that sounds all great, but what's really wrong with Patrick Mahomes? And I was like, damn, y'all actually are right. He just doing too much. And it's okay to do too much when you're the man with that much talent. But there comes a place and there comes a time where you realize you need to go back home. And where's home? Where the fundamentals are, where the basics are. And it seems like he got away from that. We all know it. And Acho, I know you've seen this before. Somebody who just, hey, dog, you need something? Oh, I'm going to go to 7-Eleven. Take the Lambo. Dog, why are you taking the Lambo to 7-Eleven? We can walk. Valet in that church. Come on, man. Why are we valet in that church? Like, just walk in with everybody else. Hey, Bishop, you know what I mean? Spin class, 6 a.m. She fully made up. You're like, oh, come on, man. Like, relax a little bit. Like, you ain't got to do all that. Patrick Mahomes right now is playing like that in mindset. Trying to carry this defense, that's porous. Trying to do everything that he's supposed to do because his name says he has to live up to that. But all the simple things are the steps that he has skipped, especially this season. I don't have a lot to be encouraged by right now. Bad performances, even though they got the W's.
So I'm incredibly encouraged by the Chiefs, man. In part because, one, just win, baby. And that's what they've done the last 2 weeks. Again, since week 6, their scoring defense is 4th, but I won't even bore you with the stats of it all. I'm going to think big picture.
Okay.
About 8 days ago, we looked at the Chiefs' record. The Chiefs had just come off a win against the Giants, and we said, man, the Chiefs got to play the Packers, then they got to play the Raiders, then they got to play the Cowboys. Okay. And that was one of the most daunting schedules, one of the most daunting tasks. Packers, Raiders, Cowboys. But now we look, several days later, the Packers were without their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Chiefs won that game. The Raiders are in the midst of so much turmoil. Henry Ruggs, distraction. Damon Arnett, first-round pick, release, distraction. John Gruden, still a distraction. And the Raiders just went and lost to the New York Football Giants. Yuck. Then the Dallas Cowboys are coming off a horrible, hideous, atrocious blowout loss at home to the Denver Broncos. So now when I look at the Chiefs, not only have the Chiefs been handling their business, just win, baby. Defense been playing significantly better the last few weeks, but now that Packers team, which we were worried about, Chiefs already beat them. Okay. That Raiders team, which we worried about, man, they've been going through some things the last couple weeks. They just lost to the Giants. I'm not worried about them. That Cowboys team, which looked incredibly daunting, Marcellus no longer has in his top 5. I got them as my top 5, and they don't even look all that good. So I'm happy and content with where the Chiefs are because they look good, and everybody else looks a little bit worse than I thought.
Man, stop. Mahomes since week 5, 75 passer rating. Man, stop. Mahomes in 53 games prior to the last 10 only had 2 under 75 passer rating. In the last 10, he had 5. Stop playing. He is at the same pace that 2018 Marcus Mariota was. How'd that turn out for him? He's at the same pace as Andy Dalton did in 2016. How'd that turn out? Andy, remember? How does that turn out for him? All that said, man, the dude, I didn't want to get into the stats. I was just saying I'm watching them, and I'm like, calm down. Tom Brady has shown these quarterbacks, hey, man, you can have all the talent of this world. You could be out of this world with your talent. But go back home. Keep it simple. Do the fundamentals.
Hey, you do know Andy Dalton went to a Pro Bowl in 2016, right? And I think Mariota went to the playoffs in 2018.
Yeah. And how'd that turn out for him?
I mean, he went to a Pro Bowl.
That's the expectation for Patrick Mahomes?
Height of Andy Dalton's career.
And where did he go after that?
That was the highest height of his career.
Oh, my God. Coming up, it looks like Seattle is getting their superstar quarterback back. What? Andy Dalton?
Andy Dalton peaked in 2016.
Yeah, and that's still lower than Patrick Mahomes. We'll tell you if Russell Wilson can save the Seahawks next. Don't speak for yourself. With a 91 passer rating, boy, get out of my face. You better stop. Russell Wilson has been cleared to return exactly. That was a pregnant pause. Let it live. 1 month after surgery on his finger. And if all goes well, he'll be back Sunday against the Packers in what could also be Aaron Rodgers' return. Seahawks went 1-2 without their star quarterback. Okay. And are currently in third place in the NFC West. Another call. Can Russell Wilson save the Seahawks?
Absolutely, man. All Russell Wilson has to do is find a way to get them to the playoffs. We know this much about Russell Wilson, one of the top 5 quarterbacks in football since he's entered the league, at least in the last 7 years. We also know Russell Wilson, he has a 67% win percentage. As I look at it, Seahawks got about 9 games left. Russ, you just helped them win 6. That's 66%. Y'all end up with 9 wins on the season. 9 wins will get you to the playoffs as it looks right now. Falcons are the 7th seed cell. They sitting at 4-4. The Atlanta Falcons. Falcons also got to play the Cowboys coming up. Falcons should be catching an L. If Russ can come back and regain some of the momentum that Russell Wilson had, he was playing solid football before getting hurt. I think he can do enough to save the Seahawks. But all salvation for the Seahawks is getting into the dance. We just showed y'all the whole NFC is wide open. The NFC is a cluster. If you get into the dance, anything can happen. To me, Russ can save him.
Yeah, he definitely could save him. You can't get into the dance this year at 500 because nobody could be 500. It's 17 games. Look at that. Columbia. Here's the thing. They're going to be better than Atlanta Falcons. I think they finished better than Atlanta Falcons. Like you said, that is the 7th seed right now. Right now, they're sitting at 10th. But only 1 loss back in the loss column. So, hey, we could make some hay. Russell Wilson still Russell Wilson. Leading the league in what? Passer rating. Leading the league in what? Yards per attempt. 2nd in the league in completion percentage. Russell Wilson still Russell Wilson. And 5 of their last 9 games are against teams with a losing record. All right, Russell Wilson, come back and get back into form. We can't have any weeks off right now because the margin of error for the Seattle Seahawks is very slim. But Russell Wilson never had a losing season. Russell Wilson made the playoffs 8 of his last 9 years. Now, once they get in the playoffs, it's going to be quick. Keep your bags packed, as they say, because you're not going to be in there long. I don't believe in this team, but I believe in their record. I believe in their franchise quarterback coming back and helping them in the NFC get over that hump, which looks like Atlanta has right now. Coming up, Odell Beckham Jr. is a free agent, y'all. We'll tell you which team is the best fit for OBJ. That's next on Speak for Yourself. Freedom.
Well, we got some big Odell Beckham Jr. news. We got to wait a little bit longer, though, to find out his destination, because reports say he cleared waivers today and is now a free agent for the first time in his career. This is a free agency, Odell. Get comfortable. Sel, what's the best fit for Odell Beckham? Where should he go, man?
Oh, man, I'm thinking Saints. I'm thinking Packers. I'm thinking Seahawks, only because he told me, or someone said he's interested in that. I will go to the Packers. Now, the Saints is the path of least resistance of good fits. The Packers, I could see some chemistry issues between Aaron Rodgers' passing game, Devontae Adams being in the building, and Odell Beckham there. But I would love to see him on that level of team because they are truly a contender. So it's about where Odell is right now, not just in skills, because I think that physically he's okay. We got to make sure mentally he understands where he is in terms of his career. I know he's a hard worker. I know the dude has a huge heart. I know he cares about the game of football. But perception is reality. So you got to walk in there kind of like the Odell did as a rookie, 1,300 yards out of nowhere. Damn, Odell, you that special? Yeah, I am, but I'll continue to back that up. I think what happened in Cleveland, in part, he had a young quarterback who saw him coming, and then Odell was like, yeah, I am Odell. Don't be Odell. Just be number 13, whatever number you're going to wear, and be a receiver that catches the ball. Kind of bring your lunch pail more so than the Rolls Royce.
Yeah, the Packers make the most sense for Odell Beckham, and I think it's imperative he goes to the Packers for several reasons. Number one, the Packers are kind of going all in this year. Devontae Adams, he might walk after this year. Aaron Rodgers, he might walk after this year. Odell, just sign a 1-year deal. Go all in, see what you can do. The Packers have no bona fide number 2 receiver. We know they have Devontae Adams. They have MVS. They have Lazard. They have Cobb in the slot, but they don't truly have a bona fide number 2 receiver. Number 3, Aaron Rodgers is going to make you better, and he's going to get you the ball if you are open. Remember, we didn't know who Robert Tonyan was last year at the beginning of the season. Then all of a sudden, he has a breakout game during a national primetime game, and he's one of the top tight ends in ball. Aaron Rodgers will make you better. Odell Beckham desperately needs a resurgence of his brand. He needs a resurgence of his statistical line. He needs a resurgence of his skill set being maximized. And Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers can do all of those things. I think Odell, the days of him being a diva are behind him. At this point, go to Green Bay, be the bona fide number 2. You know who the star number 1 is. They gonna throw the ball 35 to 40 times a game. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, see, this is why you know that Odell's a star. I was talking about the chemistry issues from the perspective not of Odell, but of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has his new mental makeup now. I'm not an activist. I'm an athlete. I'm just going to shut up. I'm just going to play ball. Okay, that sounds good. But now you're going to play ball post-COVID. Last time I checked, a lot of athletes, including the Cam Newton, struggled post-COVID in playing ball. So Odell comes out and says, look, it's going to take some time before I sign with a team. It's going to sound like blasphemy. Let's just see Aaron Rodgers play 1 week without it. I know he's going to get stronger, the energy, whatever it may be. But Cam Newton, and then you can look at Jason Tatum. You can look at Jaylen Brown. Like a lot of athletes that come out and say, dog, I don't feel the same, even though they may perform up to a high level. The second thing is Green Bay going to turn into the Randy Moss for him in New England or the Chad Ochocinco for him in New England? Because both guys still have some talent in them, and one of them thrived and the other one had to go elsewhere. It's a lot of things that have to fit in terms of this working. So, to me, a couple of question marks, nothing glaring. If you ask me right now, testify, oh, yeah, definitely go to Green Bay. But it's not without some issue if you're Odell Beckham.
The only other thing, and you mentioned it as you were talking, to the Patriots. Patriots don't really have a dude. Not even don't really. The Patriots don't have a dude. But you know this much. The Patriots are going to spend the next several years building around Mac Jones, and Mac Jones is going to be there for a while. Odell, what would not be great for your career is to now move again in a year. If Odell goes somewhere like Green Bay, if A-Rod leaves and Adams leaves, Odell going to leave next year. So now, Odell, you've gone to New York. You've gone to Cleveland. You've gone unclaimed off waivers. You've gone to Green Bay, and now you in another team. Imagine what that does for your legacy. Instead, you go to a place like the Patriots. Mac Jones is going to be there for a while. The defense will always be good. They'll still be competitive. You're playing under the greatest coach of all time in Bill Belichick. And furthermore, they're going to be able to compete to get into the playoffs this year because the Bills look like they might be sliding. All of a sudden, you go there and you become the bona fide number 1. Patriots might make some sense, too.
You know what makes some sense? Showing you some love, big dog. We got to say happy birthday to Acho. Since you're off tomorrow, it's your time off. What you doing for your birthday that I ain't get invited to? I'll be late if you invite me. What's going on, man? Happy birthday.
Appreciate you, big dog. Tomorrow, man, just a day of reflection. I'm not even turning up crazy.
Damn.
A lot of stuff accomplished in 30. 31 got to go crazy.
It's going to go crazy because you've been going crazy. My dog, happy birthday. That's it for us.